Jacqui-Lee Pryce for Shadowboxruk UK. Today's guest was a standout amateur. He's making his professional debut this Saturday on the Taylor Cattrall undercard, Kieran Molloy.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Good.
Good. We finally got here.
Yeah. Training and everything is just on tapering down towards fight night, so feeling good and ready for the weekend.
You're stuck in there a little Loughborough. It's like a university room. It doesn't look very homely.
Yeah, no, it's actually nice. It's nice. So I moved into my own place a couple of weeks back, so it's nice to have my own space and just come back and chill out after training or in between training sessions. Yeah, we've been training very, very hard leading up to this, so we've left no stone unturned. So it's all about performing on Saturday night now.
So, like I said, you're on the Taylor Cattrall undercard. It's going to be a huge night in Glasgow. I mean, what does it mean to you to make your debut on such a big stage and with a huge crop of other Irish talent on the card as well?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Look, when you start out boxing, these are the platforms that you want to perform on. Thanks to Conlan Boxing and Top Rank, I've been in these. I'm going to be fighting on these big platforms, which is great. And to be fighting alongside other Irish lads, it's going to be a great night. It's going to be electric. There's going to be a lot of Irish supporters there. We all know that the Scottish supporters are class too. So I think it's going to be a great night. And as well, making my debut and Kurt's making his debut. So we would have been boxing together for years on the national team. So it's good to share the same platform with him as we mean to go forward in our professional careers.
I mean, was that something that, and I'll come on to your management team and your promoter in a minute, but was that something that they kind of orchestrated so you'd be able to enjoy it together?
Possibly, I'm not sure, but I suppose this is the start of it, and we're starting together, which is nice. But I'd imagine that we're going to be pushing possibly for the same shows, but as well, we might be looking at different venues for different times. So, look, we'll see. I'm not too sure yet.
So you signed with Top Rank and you're managed by the Conlan brothers. And when I heard this, I'm going to be honest, I thought it's like a no-brainer that they've started to manage people because, they know the game inside out. And I'm sure they're able to, kick doors open for you.
Absolutely, yeah. They're only managing 2 fighters at the moment, myself and Kurt. So we've got all of their time and all of their, they're very committed to us. They're always making sure we have everything in place, whether it's in training or going forward towards fight night and stuff. Everything is well prepared. There's a good plan put in place for us. And yeah, they're a dream to work with.
So, obviously you're working with Top Rank and there are going to be times when you box in America, but what excites you more, the prospect of boxing in America or the prospect of the Conlans are talking about, bringing boxing back to Ireland, those big nights? Would it be USA or Ireland?
Look, I think I'm gonna love to fight in both countries, but the East Coast there's a lot of Irish in the East Coast in America, and I think I have an exciting style that's going to bring a lot of Irish Americans out, and they'll enjoy my style of boxing. And obviously, we're talking about running a show back home in Galway this year, so bring big time boxing to Galway. It'll be probably the first time ever we're going to run a massive show in Galway, and the Conlans are the men that are going to be able to do that.
How long is it since there's been big time boxing in Ireland?
Well, down south, it's been a good couple of years now. Obviously, Belfast, they've been lucky enough in Belfast. They've been able to run good shows up there throughout the years. But I think it's about time we start bringing big time boxing back down south. And there's no better place to start off than Galway as well. It's a massive city, and they're mad for boxing in Galway as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
it sounds exciting. And you've been training with a world-class team up in Loughborough. You've chosen your trainer, which is Angel Fernandez. I'm wondering, did you have trials with other people? And if so, what made you pick Angel?
Yeah, I had trials with quite a few coaches, and Jamie sent me over to Angel. It's actually just I think it was 2 days after we announced that I turned professional. I hadn't a trainer put in place, but I had a few trials and I was just weighing up the options. So Jamie sent me over to Angel for a week's training, and each day kept getting better and better. I kept learning. We clicked straight away, which is very rare to happen when you click straight away with a coach. It's just my punches were connecting properly. The stuff he was telling me, it all made sense. And he has a plan in place for each day, for each week, for each month. It's not just to come in and hit the bag for 6 rounds and then go in, hop in the spar, and it's very professional in his gym. So I came home. My dad actually came over with me because my dad is my coach as well since I was a kid. But yeah, we just came home. We weighed up all the options, and for us, the best option was to go with Angel Fernandez.
I would have thought you were used to training like that each and every week anyway, being a top class amateur. I'm quite surprised that you're surprised by what he's got in place, if that makes sense. What is the difference between, let's say, training with someone like Angel as opposed to working with the national team?
With Angel, I'm getting this one-on-one training. We have plans in place, like every day, like I said. I'm not training along 20 or 30 other people in the gym who are also getting, like, say, all of the attention. Like, everything is on me. We only have myself, Richard Riakpor, Fraser Clark in the gym, and each one of us has our own training times. So we've got one-on-one coaching for the entire session, which is great. Like, you're not going to get that on the national team because there's such a big team of people.
Yeah. And are you seeing a massive growth in your development because of that? Because of having your little set times with Angel?
Yeah, it's good. Like, I work. I train extremely hard all the time because I know where I want to be. And I know it's not going to be easy to get there. But with Angel, we just focus on 2 or 3 things in a session and implement those. It's not overcomplicated, and it's comfortable with my style. He's not trying to completely change me to be Floyd Mayweather or Marvin Hagler. He's keeping to my style and just adding a couple of bits, extra head movement, setting up your power shots properly, and not getting hit, which is the art of boxing. So we're practicing a lot, and it's coming together nicely. But I think just going to take it fight by fight now, and you'll see massive improvements from the start of this year towards the end of the year.
I mean, to be fair, you're trying to, in some respects, unlearn some of the amateur ways, so that in itself will take time.
It does. There's very bad habits that you get from amateur boxing as well. Not like it works at the time, but in the professionals it doesn't. Like, I've had over 220 amateur bouts, and sometimes you might pull out with your chin in the air, and sometimes you might start the first round very fast and you might fatigue towards the 5th or 6th round. So you've got to pace yourself. You've got to pick your shots. And sometimes it's okay to take the odd punch and not throw back to try and get 2 back. That's the way, because sometimes in the amateurs you might say, for instance, you get hit with 2 punches, you're thinking, I've got to get him back with 4 now or else I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. You've just got to be patient and smart. You've got a lot more time to think about stuff.
Yeah. And you, to be fair, you're in there now with, people that have gone through the same thing as you. You've got AJ in there. You've got Richard Riakpor in there. You've got you've got an Olympian, Fraser Clark. So they've kind of done that amateur journey. They've done that transitional stage. So surely that must be quite comforting to train amongst them.
It is, yeah. It's like, I suppose Fraser is adjusting into the professional game as well. He just had his debut on last Saturday, so it was actually good to go there and see the start of his journey, because next weekend I know what to expect from, say, coming in the taxi into the car park. You walk to your changing rooms, you sit down, you do your warm-up with your team, you see superstars walking by, and it's the norm kind of. So it was good to experience it all, the ring walk, and what to expect now. But like you said, yeah, we've got a great gym. You've got Anthony Joshua's in at the moment, Richard Riakport, Fraser. I'm usually first on in the morning, so what I do after my session is I just eat my food just beside the ring, and I watch all these guys train.
Yeah,
I just
nice.
it all up, because these guys like Richard is probably going to be fighting for a world title in a couple of fights, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got AJ there, who's the heavyweight world champion. He's on a mission to win his titles back. So it's great to be surrounded by these sort of, he's a superstar. So it's great to be surrounded by him and training.
I imagine as well, once you've been in the amateurs for so many years, you're doing the same things, you're seeing the same people, no disrespect to them, but then all of a sudden you've got this, I guess, this new injection into passion again, into the game. Would I be correct in thinking that? Yeah,
it's refreshing. It really is. I'm happy. It's the first time in probably 6-7 years where I'm proper happy training, because I've got a plan in place and I can work towards it. There's no negativity. There's no what if, or I have to do this or that. You know, sort of way. It's I've got a fight date. I can work towards that. I've got people around me who want me to succeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mentally, I'm in a very, very good place at the moment.
Good. So have you moved here full time, or will you be going backwards and forwards to Galway?
I've been home just once since I moved here 7 weeks ago. So I'm hoping to be very active this year. So maybe the first year I won't get home too much. I'm actually going to be back in the gym next Monday after my fight. So yeah, we're planning a pretty busy year ahead. So I just want to keep learning and keep improving, and it's going to make my job a lot easier if I do it this year rather than starting off slow. And yeah.
To be fair, you've put in the groundwork, haven't you, in the amateurs? It's not like 200 odd fights. You've put in the groundwork, and I'm guessing you just want to fly now.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just raring to go now on the weekend and start my professional journey.
And then you've been getting praise from Adam Booth, and I've known him a long time, and he don't praise that many people unless he means it. And he said that you were as powerful as Andy Lee.
Yeah,
very good.
I've done a couple of weeks in Booth's gym as well. Very, very good coach. Great bunch of lads in his gym as well. They're all sounding made me feel at home as soon as I got there. And their work ethic in that gym is very, very high. But I got on well with Adam, and he said he liked my punch power, which was good. And I learned a few things from his gym, and it was a great couple of weeks training.
The energy of in the gym when you go into one of their sessions, you can just feel that energy of like everybody's hungry. Do you know what I mean? And again, like you're saying about your gym, it doesn't feel to me like there's any jealousy or there's a massive team just working towards massive goals.
That's it. See with these sort of big gyms I've experienced over the years going into them, there could be very famous athletes in there, but if you're all on the same mission, and that's to be a world champion, I think egos have to be dropped at the door if you've got one, and none of these guys actually do. You've got Michael Conlan. He's probably the hardest trainer I've ever seen, but once he's in the gym, it's just like he's just normal.
Nice guy as well. Nice guy.
He is, yeah. Anthony Joshua as well. He's just a normal lad. That's the way. You kind of forget that these guys are superstars when you're training with them, because everyone's on the same mission. We've got the same mindset, and that's to go to the top. So it's it's good.
Did you get a little bit starstruck though when you first sort of met AJ and probably Fraser Clark or people like that? Because I know you knew Mick Conlan anyway. Did you not?
Yeah, I did not know Fraser before, anyways. But
okay.
When I seen AJ, it was I was actually staying at the hotel. This was maybe 5-6 weeks ago. The only thing I got shocked of was his sheer size. I knew he was big, but he was sitting down and he kind of looked towards me. He's massive in real life. No, I wouldn't say I was starstruck or anything. he's just another person to me at the end of the day, you know.
So let's take it back a little bit. So you're a former 3-time national champion. I think the last one was it in 2021?
National League Championships in October last year.
Yeah, and then you had a bronze EU Championships in 2018. Tell me about how your journey started and about all the other accolades, because I know I've just kind of skipped over them.
So I started boxing at 5 years old in Uachtar Boxing Club. Followed my older brothers down, and from there just started running around more than boxing and just messing most of the time. But once I hit 7 or 8, my dad started bringing me around sparring a lot of places, and then by 11 years old, I went to the county championships, won the counties, went to the Connachts, and I got a really bad decision in a Connacht final, and I hated it. And that's when I knew that I really, really want to be a winner.
Nice.
My dad used to bring me around the country and even around Europe, kind of just get loads and loads of fights, just experience different styles, different cultures and stuff, like their style of boxing. But the next year I won the championship, so I won championships all the way up to elite level from schoolboy, national championships. But I suppose when I was 13, I got like European medals, world medals, and then obviously the elite medals. Then, it was good to consistently medal throughout each, I suppose, like schoolboy, junior, youth, and then elite. So it was good to be consistent. We always had a plan that by age 23 that we turned professional. You've
had a lot of fights. You've had a long amateur career, and you've had a lot of achievements. You've won many things. Did you at any time wish that you turned over earlier?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, I wanted. You know what? I actually wanted to turn over professional when I was 18, and I had a contract on the table, and I was about to sign it. But my dad wouldn't let me. He said, "No, we're gonna develop. We're going to develop, and you can turn professional when you're 23." So I had 5 years fighting as an elite, and fought the best guys in the world. Like I fought all the Olympic medalists in my weight, world champions, stuff like this, and it definitely made me a better all-round fighter. And I'm so happy that I didn't turn professional back then, or that we're doing it now.
So I'm guessing then you're not going to be one of these pros that goes back to the amateurs in 2024 for the Paris Olympics.
Absolutely not. No, you'll never see me with a vest on again.
You're done now.
Oh, it's done. I couldn't be happier to get out of it.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when people look back, and I understand that they can they had a goal and they didn't meet that goal and they really want to accomplish it. But to me, to have a foot in each camp and each style of boxing, I think it would be very difficult once you've been pro to go back as an amateur.
Well, of course, yeah. It's a completely different game altogether.
And also, you've got Paddy Donovan on Saturday night as well. Someone who you fought.
Yeah.
Oh, you said it like is that like still a drama?
Oh, I don't know. I won the fight, so I don't know where the drama is, but I don't know. We'll see. Again,
you've got another Irish guy on there. So in respect, it must be nice that you guys have got history, and then you're all on this massive card together. You might be able to shake hands, have a beer later.
There's between myself and Paddy, we've not even talked since the fight, but there's no bad blood there. It was just we crossed paths and we fought, and the best man won on the night. And maybe it will happen in the future, but I wish Paddy all the best in his career. And if we cross paths again, the best man will win again. So we'll see what happens in the future.
It's just business anyway, isn't it?
That's it, of course, yeah.
Before we go, I've got to ask you, Catterall or Taylor?
Taylor for me. I don't think he can lose in front of his 15,000 fans. I think we're going to see the best Josh Taylor come out that night. Catterall's a great fighter too. It's going to be an exciting fight, but just think with the home advantage and the atmosphere, I think Taylor does it for his fans.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. I'm looking forward to seeing not only your fight on Saturday night, but how you develop in the future.